across New South Wales who rely on health services, and I'm so glad to be able to introduce the Minister for Health, Ryan Park, who will tell us more about this incredible news about a new hospice that we're being able to deliver here right at Westmead.
Thank you, Donna, and can I acknowledge both yourself and Sally Quinnell, the member for Camden, who I know has also had a strong relationship with the family. Today we announced that New South Wales will build a second children's hospice right here at Westmead Hospital. It'll be the second of its kind, build on the incredible work that we see each and every day happening at Bear Cottage in Manly. There's so many people that I want to thank as to how and why we've got here. But two individuals I want to thank from the very beginning is Ryan and Karen, the parents of Rio, who passed away in 2018, who also had an opportunity to go to Bear Cottage. I think any of us who are parents would say that the very lowest point you could be would be the loss of a child. And I know for me, as the dad of two boys, I certainly couldn't do what Ryan and Karen have decided to do, and that is not only be incredible advocates for other children with life-limiting disease, but the ability to work so closely to bring government, philanthropic support in the form of the Mounties group that I'll talk about in a minute, and Dale and the team, and bring that to bear and be able to say we want to see another Bear Cottage, another hospice right here in the heart of Western Sydney, where growing communities are calling this place home. Of course, we'd never want to really see these types of services. We hope they're never needed, but the reality is they are. And one of the first conversations I had was with Mike Baird, and I want to acknowledge Mike and Christina Keneally, and I'll talk about Mike now. He talked to me and I listened to him about the importance of Bear Cottage. Anyone who's listened to Mike during his political career knows that that place is very special to him and his family, and had an opportunity to go firsthand and meet with the clinicians, nursing staff and doctors, as well as see and talk with families who would utilise that service. It's absolutely remarkable. And Mike spoke to me about this idea that he and Ryan and Karen had around potentially opening another hospice up. And after that conversation, I thought this is a real opportunity now to make a meaningful difference. I know that being the Minister for Health is not something that I'll be forever. These jobs are inevitably for a small time. But I wanted to work together with Ryan and Karen, Christina and Mike, the Children's Hospital Network here at Westmead and at Randwick, and of course Mounties, to bring together what we have today, which is a $20 million commitment from the New South Wales Government, partnered with the Mounties group to create the Mounties Care Cottage, something that will be a legacy of Rio and his family, but something that will bring great joy and hope to both children and families dealing with some of the most difficult times of their life. I want to acknowledge Dale from the Mounties group. The Mounties Care Cottage comes off the back of the single largest philanthropic support going into the Sydney Children's Hospital Foundation, and this is incredibly important. $13 million will be provided over the course of 10 years to help assist the government operating this service. In the same way that Bear Cottage receives significant philanthropic support, so too does this. And people might say, well, why doesn't government just do everything? Well, the reality is in this country and in this state and around the world, philanthropic support is often required for the government to be able to do more than it already can. And I want to publicly acknowledge the work that Dale and his team have done, working closely with Ryan and Karen, with Christina and Mike, to make this a reality. And I want to thank him and his team sincerely. To Christina Keneally from the Foundation, thank you so much for the work that you and your philanthropic support and philanthropic donors do every single day to make a difference in our two world-leading hospitals, both at Randwick and here at Westmead. I know that all of us across the health system value incredibly the work, but more importantly than us, to be frank, the parents, young people and families who often have to spend an enormous time at our children's hospitals also thank the Foundation for the work that they continue to do, particularly for this project. From the bottom of my heart, can I thank every single person involved. From New South Wales Health, we've got the Secretary here, Susan Pearce. It is really, really important to have the Children's Hospital Network support as well as the Ministry of Health, the local health district and everyone involved. Because when I talked to Mike at the very beginning, he talked to me about that this will be complex because we're bringing a whole heap of different people together, but we were determined to make a difference. And I want to acknowledge the work that my office did, in particular Rosie Rand and Matthew McLean, for their incredible amount of time that they have personally put into trying to make this a reality. Today is a celebration of hope and a celebration of a tenacity of two parents who, in insurmountable grief, decided to make an enormous contribution to the people of New South Wales. And forever, Mounties Care Cottage will be a legacy to Rio, a legacy to his family, a legacy to everyone involved in making this a reality. And I can't wait to see it open in a couple of years. Thank you.
For my wife Karen, our daughter Remy, and me, the day our Rio passed away was the worst day of our lives. But it did happen in the best place. Our time in hospital was intense, leaving our families sometimes separated and fearful of what may lay ahead. But everything changed when we arrived at Bear Cottage, obviously a children's hospital in Manly, hospice in Manly. Rio was still gravely ill, but we were together, nurtured by people who knew what to do when words failed. Even though we were saying goodbye, we felt safe, nestled in a home away from home. Love was everywhere. It is this love that drives our mission, to love others as we were loved during those crucial times. Our son Rio has always been our inspiration. As a bereaved father, championing extraordinary children in their stories, and supporting families facing the unimaginable challenges of living with a child with a life-limiting condition, has been the driving force behind our efforts. We believe that all children are fearfully and wonderfully made. Through building Rio's legacy, Mounties Care Cottage will be a place where children come to live and not to die. I truly believe that Rio's legacy, Mounties, GWS Giants, the City Children's Hospital Foundation and the New South Wales Government were meant to come together and connect. To the New South Wales Health Minister Parks and obviously Premier Minns and the New South Wales Government, we are beyond grateful for your work in supporting our mission and places like Bear Cottage. I thank God for Dale Hunt, the Males Board and their community, and as well to Nikki Andronicus and the GWS Giants and everyone there for taking a leap of faith and supporting our aim to make a difference for families in Western Sydney and regional New South Wales. I thank God for all our ambassadors. Some are here today. Billy Smith's here around, if you see him around, but a few of the other boys who have supported us along the way. Cow Ward's here as well, he's a GWS Giant. As well as our partners, and there's other people who have supported us around, such as the Roosters, the Walker Corporation and the Scots College, and many people who have willingly supported not just us, but more importantly those in need. I thank God for Christina and the team at the Sydney Children's Hospital Foundation for believing in us and believing in this cottage. And I thank God for Mike Baird, who is our patron of Rio's legacy, who has always been there for us, supported us and encouraged us to be the voice for those in need. To all the inspiring children like our Rio and their incredible families who never give up, it's because of you that we will never give up in our efforts to care for you, support and nurture you in your hour of need. Through building Rio's legacy, we are now witnessing the creation of Mounties Care Cottage, a place to care for families like Bear Cottage. Bear Cottage so wonderfully cared for us and our families, and it's so awesome to see so many Bear Cottage people here as well. Faith is about stepping into the deep, even when you don't know the result. I thank God for our beautiful boy Rio and his legacy and our charity, which has pushed us into the deep to try and help families in need. We hope to give these brave children the chance to be surrounded by peace, by laughter and their loved ones, ensuring their amazing families are cared for and nurtured at Mounties Care Cottage. Thank you.
Hello everyone. I'm going to say a few words. I think I just want to pause for a moment and thank Ryan and Karen for their courage today to tell their story and their compassion and courage to advocate for this new paediatric hospice. I'm going to say a few words as CEO of Sydney Children's Hospitals Foundation. In a moment I'm going to invite Mike Baird and then Dale Hunt, the CEO of Mounties, to say a few words. As you heard from Ryan, for some sick children, instead of sleepovers, there are stays in hospitals. Instead of play dates, there are appointments. And instead of firsts, there can be last. As the CEO of the Sydney Children's Hospitals Foundation, I am constantly amazed by the extraordinary generosity that comes from our donors. Donors like Mounties Group. Our donors truly believe that philanthropy has the power to transform, indeed change the future for the better for sick kids. I want to acknowledge today that the $13 million donation being made by the Mounties Group is the single biggest gift in the history of the Sydney Children's Hospitals Foundation. And I think it is important to pause here and note that that gift is coming from the community, from a club that is based here in the heart of Western Sydney and is being supported by its members to make that donation. And to Mounties Group, we say a big, heartfelt thank you. You are creating a legacy of compassion and care, of love, that will transform the lives of, indeed, thousands of families for the years that this service will operate. Mounties Care Cottage is bringing pediatric palliative care closer to home to the children of Western Sydney and indeed families right across New South Wales who need that care. Now, the Minister said that philanthropy has always played a role in paediatric palliative care. It does here in New South Wales and indeed right across Australia. That's because we're providing not just clinical care, but a wraparound care for families. And as Ryan and Karen will tell you, that care often extends, as it does at Bear Cottage, after a child has died. That's the kind of care that the community's generosity unlocks. And we do invite the community to be part of Mounties Care Cottage, whether you're a school group or a sporting club, a church, families, big or small businesses. Like Bear Cottage, Mounties Care Cottage offers an opportunity for the community to harness their generosity to care for sick and dying children and their families. And if you'd like to know more, please visit schf.org.au. Now, one person who knows, as I do, that government can never meet all of the demand or opportunity when it comes to the care that we would like to provide to every single person in this state is our next speaker. Mike Baird has been a patron of Rio's legacy for many years. He is coming on board as an ambassador for the Sydney Children's Hospitals Foundation, and I am proud to call him both a successor to my time in office and a friend. Mike.
Well, thanks, Christina. Today is a pretty special day, and it's hard not to look around and be filled with thanks and gratitude, and really that's where I wanted to start today. The government, led by the Premier, Chris Minns, and the Health Minister, Ryan Park, the Health Department, Susan's here, so thankful. There are many things that government can do, but to single this out as a priority is something that's not going to be appreciated by me. It is appreciated by me, but where it's really going to be appreciated is the families that come and use this facility. It's going to change their lives. Ryan Park, as Health Minister, that's a job you don't want in government, as a general rule. But what I loved about Ryan Park, being on the other side of the chamber, was he used to laugh at my jokes, so that was a good thing. But what he struck me was he had a heart, always had a heart, and this takes a heart to bring this to life. So I'll always be deeply thankful to Ryan Park for bringing this to life, because without him it wouldn't have happened. So I do want to say thank you to him personally. To the foundation, Christina's played a great leadership role. As you can see, is deeply connected to this purpose, and will do an amazing job raising the ongoing funds required. To the foundation, obviously Nikki Andronicus has done a great job bringing the Giants in. We've got community, we've got sport, we have government coming together. Cal Ward is here. This is the year of the Giants. I have to put that in. Cal Ward, no one deserves a premiership more than you. That's another issue. But also Mounties, the Mounties board. You could make many decisions about where you invested your funds, but you've collectively come together with Dale's leadership to make the decision to invest here. And you know, from the bottom of my heart, I say thank you. That's a massive investment, and it's going to make an impact. I want to speak about Ryan and Karen Fowler. I don't think I've met two more inspiring Australians. I really don't. Incredible grief and tragic circumstance turned into hope and light for others. Day in, day out, they're determined. What they experienced at their cottage, well, every family that's in that position with a child with a life-limiting illness has the opportunity to live, has the opportunity to celebrate milestones, has the opportunity to go on outings, has the opportunity to talk to other families deeply, personally, and understand what you are going through. And that support at the time of need, you can't put words on, you can't put a dollar value on. It's incredible. So Ryan and Karen Fowler, they have lived a life that is nothing short of inspirational. I'm so thankful I've got to know them and have the opportunity to support them on this journey. As I've said, the last couple of things, Bear Cottage itself, I had the opportunity in public life to walk into Bear Cottage. My life has never been the same since. You think that's a place you don't want to go, but where you think there's darkness is the exact opposite. There's a magic, there's light, there's hope, there's joy. And to deliver that in those circumstances is nothing short of remarkable. So to have the opportunity for more families to see that and experience that, to me, every dollar that's going into that is worth it and some. So Bear Cottage has given the model and obviously the opportunity for Western Sydney families. There are 3 million people west of Parramatta. Those families deserve the opportunity just like every other family in Sydney. So having a facility, the new facility here, is going to give the people of Western Sydney that opportunity, should it be needed. Obviously in terrible circumstances, but knowing that this is here should give great comfort to this broad community. So incredibly thankful for the opportunity, and I'll pass to Dale.
I'm going to invite Dale Hunt, the CEO of Mounties Group, to say a few words. But Dale, as I invite you forward, I want to acknowledge Sydney Children's Hospital Network Chief Executive Catherine Cox, who is here, and her team, who will be overseeing the redevelopment of the hospice, which will be right behind us here. And say to you, Dale, that the network is extremely excited that you've come on board to support this project, because together you are partnering with the network and the government to make this possible. So Dale, the community support is incredibly important, and we'd just like to invite you to say a few words.